Welcome back to School for Startups Radio. Thank you so much for being with us today. One of the things I just love about entrepreneurship is the variety of ways that you can go out there and make a living, have fun while you do it. And I think that our next guest is going to be a great example of that. Jason Flake is the founder and president of a company called Game Shows Rock, and he's been doing this for about the last 5 years. My understanding is you go to a corporate client and put on a game show for them that has some sort of team building benefits or something like that. He has done it for companies like AT&T, Merrill Lynch, the Atlanta Falcons, and the Food Network. And he's also been featured on CBS News. Jason, welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
Doing well, Jim. Thanks for having me.
So explain the concept, Jason. Did I get it right? It's a game show that you take to a venue to make the participants bond and have fun, sort of like indoor paintball or something.
We haven't actually incorporated paintball gun yet. That could possibly be part of future productions, but no, you're spot on. We actually bring in the full Hollywood game show experience to the event. So a company will bring us in for anything from corporate function, divisional meetings, sales kickoff, whatever it might be, and we bring the full production in. So you have the digital podiums, premium staging, professional hosts, and the real kicker is the show itself is customized all about the company. So all the content, all the categories, it's about their brand, their goals, and it really is just really interactive and a lot of fun.
So the questions would be like, name the top best-selling GE microwave, stuff like that?
Absolutely. Everything from current market history, all that good stuff.
All right. Who is the senior vice president's executive assistant? All right, Jason, I get it. I love it. This is a wacky idea. It sounds like a lot of fun, though. How did you come up with this? How did you get your first client to buy on to the silliness? Tell us some of the birthing story, please.
Absolutely. Well, the reason it started is I graduated from the University of Georgia.
Devil's Playground.
Yes, sir. And in 2004. And after college, kind of bounced around to a couple positions, ended up falling into real estate. And as I'm sure everyone realized, and unfortunately realized, the market really got tough.
Sure.
So like a lot of people started looking into small part-time positions. And I actually ended up just doing some part-time hosting and a little bit of DJing. And I've always just loved the interaction, crowd interaction, just live engagement. So I started running these small little shows on a very small scale. So whether it was in bars or restaurants, wherever it was, almost kind of a proof of concept. And the more of these I ran, the more people would approach me during the shows, after the show, saying, do you do this on a corporate level? My company has XYZ coming up, and this would just be a blast. So that started clicking a little bit, and gradually the shows got more involved on a larger scale, and then when we really focused in on it, we hit that sweet spot of corporate team building and interactive training. And like you mentioned, we have been fortunate enough to have some awesome clients, Merrill Lynch, AT&T. Really right now we're working with a lot of law firms on the continuing education side. So that same information that they would normally be pitched in a formal presentation, we take that, and it's the culmination of everything they've learned into a Jeopardy experience, Family Feud experience, and really ties it all together in a really fun way.
Now, Jason, are you the host? Because you certainly have the hair for it. You have host hair, so...
I do a lot of the hosting, yes, especially for first-time clients to really just get right in there, sink our teeth into it, make sure it's an absolute blast. That's originally why I got into it. But the gratifying thing is, once you realize you're not just a host, you're the person that started this company and is growing this company. That's really where it came all together, and it's just awesome. But I do some of the hosting, and we've been fortunate enough to team up with a professional improv host as well that have helped us out.
And where do the questions come from? So AT&T hires you. Do they make up the questions, or do they give you a corporate manual for you to pillage through to make up questions? What is rule number 36.C.4?
You say that in jest, but we've done shows for like commercial refrigeration companies where people are naming models of 1974 refrigerator. I mean, it's the stuff people can soak in is unbelievable. But to answer your question, it really depends. Sometimes a client will have specific information that they want on that digital game board. They want to make sure that their employees are shown that information. And then sometimes we get full creative freedom. They'll just give us a website. They'll give us a PowerPoint presentation, a PDF, whatever it might be. And then we work our magic into it, and we add videos, audio, just like the Jeopardy style. We can incorporate that into the game board, and then, of course, we present it to them, make sure we get the final thumbs up. So it really just depends on how involved they want to be.
All right. Fantastic. It sounds like a just great idea. Let me ask you this, Jason. What do you do for marketing? How are you getting the word out there? How do you find a client like AT&T?
Right. Well, I got to tell you, much like a lot of businesses, first starting out and even right now, just a lot of cold calling. Now, I know there's articles out there about cold calling's dead and, there's just no value. I firmly do not believe that. I try to establish 25 new contacts a week, just calling in. I've refined it down so I know specifically who to call into. HR directors, head of marketing, whoever it might be that would handle that event planning. So a lot of that cold calling has led to other shows because it's such a visual product. Once people see it, we get a lot of referrals. So a lot of my friends in corporations, they've referred us to events. And, of course, we've recently teamed up with No Box Creatives, which is a small business marketing firm based right here in Atlanta. So they've really streamlined our sales process, our SEO. Chris Estrada, good friend of mine who's with the operations spot, is an absolute brand guru. He totally redid our site, really just helping it grow organically and really just getting the word out there. We team up with a lot of event planners who are great resources because they already have a built-in client database. So we simply become a product that they present. So any number of ways out there, but right now it's just really brand awareness for us. If you ask 10 people...
No Box Creatives, is that Skip Blankley?
That is absolutely Skip Blankley. We work with Elise Sims as well, who partners up with Skip, and they are just total, just brand rock stars. I mean, they're fantastic.
I actually know Skip really well. I've done business with him. He's been on this show, and you're right. He is a fantastic guy, and his company deserves a good plug. So I'm glad that just randomly came up, Jason. He's a good guy and deserves some plugs. I didn't know that you knew him. That's a small world right there. So what are your plans for the future for the game shows? What are you going to do next?
Well, I'd like to think in the 40 to 50 years that game shows have been around, there really hasn't been a huge tweak in format. It's always been contestants. It's always been competing head-to-head, questions, categories. So I see there continuing to be a market. There's always going to be a market for friendly competition. So what I'd like to see is I've set some goals for 2015 in terms of the number of events, the number of clients that I want to reach out to. And Atlanta is such a huge hub for business. There's more than enough business to continue working here. But what I'm really excited about is the possibility of expansion. Our business model is something you can recreate in all the major markets. So I've possibly looked into Charlotte, Raleigh, Chattanooga. I would love to just have teams set up in all those major markets and continue to bring that game show experience to all these corporate clients. I would really love to see that, and that's what we're pushing forward towards.
Well, I think that's a great idea. Vegas is an obvious choice, and I know some people I can introduce you to there, Jason. I love the idea. Do you have employees, or is it just you? It seems to me like you could do 99% of this with no permanent employees. Is that true?
You know, everything we do, we contract out. I have not brought any full-time employees on, but I surround myself in teams that have vested interests, make sure, you know, when we grow, they grow. But yeah, it is a situation where at this point, there's really no need to have 24/7 full-time employees. All that talent that's out there, I can work with them on an independent contractor basis, and it's really just worked out great.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. Jason, how can people find out more about you, hire your company, get in touch with you, that kind of thing, please?
Absolutely. Well, the best thing to do would just be visit our site at www.gameshowsrock.com. And it's a very visual site right off the bat. You have event photos, you have videos, testimonials. It gives you a real all-encompassing feel for the game show experience. Of course, that page has links to all our social media, Google+, LinkedIn, Facebook, all the heavy hitters. And then just reach out. You can personally call into me through that contact information or email me, and I'm always going to be the first point of contact. I'll work with you from start to finish, from the creation and design to the production and hosting. So check us out, and yeah, absolutely would love to work with Continuing Corporation.
You know, Jason, what about starting like a Running Man game show, that Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, combining our paintball idea from the beginning where you just go around trying to kill your fellow employees? That sounds like fun to me.
I'm checking the several liability insurance policies, and the Running Man clause really is just too expensive for us at this point.
Oh, well. I love the idea. Jason, I love your company. I think it's a great story. I hope you'll come back soon and keep us updated, and congratulations.
Absolutely. I sure appreciate it, Jim.
All right. We'll be right back with more of the show in just a second.